Nick Holland, of course, named at centre half forward.
And umpire Darren Goldsbing puts the air conveyance in the air. Or grabbed by Salmon, kicked off by Crawford to half forward for Footscray. Hawthorn, Rock. Hand pass Laidley to half forward for North Kerry. Oh, don't tell me he's going to take up where he left off last week and he's marked 40 metres out. What a start there, physiotherapist.
Yes, it was a magnificent start. Big quick kick off the ground by Crawford. And then it was almost the Franco Cozzo. North Melbourne had a Footscray, but it came straight back to Wayne Carey. And he should line up for his first goal. 11 goals last week, don't forget.
But he comes in and he'll kick this from 51 metres and go bang with a long, long ball that's gone behind the stick to such an extent that it's been declared over. And the resultant free kick will be taken by Jenke of Hawthorn.
So Jenke hard up against the boundary line, short to Salmon, handball over the top to Collins. He in turn repeats the handball. Very quick exchange by the Hawks, looking to get the ball out, the umpire bringing it back. And the free kick awarded there to Daniel Harford on half-back.
Yeah, we didn't get a tip off you before the game, Terry.
But you'd have to go North Melbourne, but watching Carey there, 11-2 last week, and this week one shot out of bounds on the full. So Hawthorn away, across towards the members' side of the ground. McKernan well out from full forward where he lined up, but what agility for the big man. Steps around, the kick not so good, but luck fortunes, Crocker in front.
Yeah, so when you get one of those mongrel punts to go straight to your man in the opening couple of minutes, it always gives you that little bit of a pump up and you think to yourself, well, it may well be my night. This kick was clearly going over Darren Crocker's head, but it skew-iffed straight into the breadbasket.
So Crocker has played the last 2 weeks after overcoming a hamstring strain. Kicks long, but it's across to the side again, doesn't make the distance. And Salmon quite happy just to knock it over the line for one behind. First score of the evening to North Melbourne.
So Hawthorn yet to go further than 50 metres out. Jenke to himself runs 15 and goes bang, but no one at home in the centre, and Archer. And the bow and arrow man has taken it right half forward. He's got plenty out there, Blakey. They could have raffled it out there. But on right half forward, Anderson rather goes forward to Rock. And Rock has taken the mark. They've just got no system, Hawthorn, in their back line.
Well, interesting, Hawthorn have lined up with the Rat Platt up on the half forward line. He's been picked up by Robert Scott. Wayne Swass across the half back line also for North Melbourne.
So little boy Rock is a Rock of Gibraltar. He's got a chance for the third time within 2 minutes to go. Bang! And put this one behind the stick again. The minor score. And North Melbourne can't get that one that they want. They're 2 behind, 2 points. Hawthorn yet to score. And Terry will.
So Jenke now having a good look. This time he elects to go in short. Just over the top of McKernan's head, and Raiden Tallis takes the mark. Switches out wide. Hawks, 3 of them all together. Langford's the runner. Kicks on towards half forward. Pushing and shoving. Chick overruns the ball. Fairly in hard. Graham's there with them. Handballs to 11. Back to Graham, playing at half forward. Tosses it up high. A lot of pressure there, and good work from the North Melbourne defence. And it's Anthony Stevens, obviously there with the job on Crawford. Conditions quite ideal at this stage. A shower or two predicted, but the sky's quite clear. The boundary throw-in, dropped down to the front. Schwass pushing and shoving, gets his way clear. The kick from North Melbourne to half forward. Can't repel it here. Chick stays in the contest for Hawthorn. Pushes over towards Kapler. He has the pace on Carey. The left footer pushes it out wide. It's a race at Harford. Very good positioning. Dunstall well covered by Martin. In turn, in short, Condon. Harford just holding the play up there well enough for Condon to be able to drop in short. It's not always the first kick that needs to be given off. Some patience at times really does help. So Anthony Condon. Dual premiership player with Hawthorn. An important kick. He's got Hawthorn's first. Hawthorn, the first goal of the game. A 1-goal streak to North Melbourne, 2 behinds.
And it's so often the case, isn't it, Terry, where a side can attack for 5 or 6 minutes and miss a number of shots. Then all of a sudden, the opposition goes into attack fairly quickly and they come up with a major. Here's Condon with Rock. And another big job at centre-half back for Chris Langford, the Warhorse. Approaching 300 games now. Tonight, 287. As Paul Hudson comes off the ground, one suspects with the blood rule. Chris Langford, of course, on Wayne Carey. And Hudson, who's been in pretty reasonable form over the last month, had a good game against Carlton in the mud, or in the wet, in fact, at Waverley against the Blues, as Darren Pritchard comes onto the ground.
Okay, he's got a little bit of an abrasion to the thigh. 16 minutes past 8, flight to King Island to pick up the crayfish. Flies over the top of the MCG and Grant Vernon goes bang. Good bounce too. Knock forward North Melbourne. Here comes Rock. Goes bang inside 50. Where's Carey? He's there. Langford on his hammer. Comes out Holland. Picked up by Collins. Gets it across to Jenke. On the left half-back flank, and Harford takes the mark. Runs to 50. Comes onto the wing looking for Kapler, who copped one high from Blakey, and Kapler equal to the task. Runs off. Goes long to half forward. Looking for Graham, but a good mark has been taken by the big man in Capuano, and he's going to relieve the pressure for North Melbourne into the centre of the ground. Blakey, he's got to lead McKernan. Can't trap the football. Collins kicks it off the ground. It goes towards the boundary, and on 50, right half forward flank, it goes over the boundary line and out of play. Great pressure by Collins, a seasoned campaigner.
Yes, doing pretty well in the last couple of minutes, but one has got used to a higher standard from Corey McKernan in his marking. Very surprised to see him drop that early in the piece, but bitterly cold conditions here at the MCG.
So from the boundary throw-in, Hawthorn with numbers at the back of the contest. Lose possession here. Bell to Scott. Snaffled by Superman. It goes on wide. Richard Taylor back to Harford. Props at half-back. Kicks in, the umpire's whistle's gone. It'll come back again. Richard Taylor. One of 4 changes to the Hawthorn side. Coming in with Stephen Lawrence, Daniel Chick and Angelo Lekas. One of those players, Daniel Chick. Halfback for Hawthorn. Pushes in towards centre forward. Salmon's his target there with Graham. The spoil comes to ground. Anderson in hard for North Melbourne. Platten at the bottom of the contest. And his mind to Robert Scott just standing over the top of him.
Corey McKernan now out to half forward with Craig Scholl dropping back into the forward line. They've got such an interchangeable tools in the forward line, North Melbourne. They are blessed, and when you consider Longmire's out, they have a wealth of riches there at Kangaroo Land.
So the ball now hard up against the boundary line. Chick with Fairley well done. Left foot out, but only as far as Jenke.
So Ray Jenke from a great sporting family, inside left half forward. Nearly a mark. Graham, hand pass Pritchard. The giant giraffe kick, Dunstall, but Mick Martin is there. Look at him go, the veteran. A skew-if mongrel kick outside 50. Salmon can't take it. Coming through McKernan, hand pass. Looking for Crocker. Quick hands to Blakey, no good. Picked up Scott, got back McKernan. His kick was just thwarted off the boot. Capuano easy to the task. Gets it to Stevens. Inside 50 to Carey. Might have been an interference there, and the umpire Goldsmith said yes. King Carey, you can line it up from 47 metres.
Well, he's already had one shot this evening, but one suspects this time he'll just learn a little bit from that. Maybe the wind going left to right as he kicks it.
So Carey from 51 metres. It has gone a long way, but behind the wrong side of the stick. And North Melbourne can't get that goal they desperately need.
Let's have another look at the free kick. Just going a little bit early was the veteran Chris Langford, and he'd certainly got into the back.
3 behind, 3 points. North, not a good start. Jenke got it out. Langford, the veteran, a long ball to wing. Beautiful interception by Swass. On Treleaven concedes the football over the boundary line.
So Wayne Schwass running back into form at halfback for North Melbourne. Here's the two big men who'll go at it all night, Salmon and Capuano. Salmon with the right hand just drops it down. Crocker's first in, but Jenky's up to the task, pushes it forward towards Chick. He in turn paddles it back out to Salmon, to Jenky, across the body. Mark Graham, very good work to keep the ball alive for Hawthorn. Push back now fairly at centre half-back, relieves the pressure. McKernan, it was always going to be his mark. Aggressively at the ball.
Coming well up the ground to get it though, Terry.
In turn to Capuano. Mobility of the big men is the key to the North Melbourne side. Scholl feeds back. Simpson on the left foot, heads towards the goal square. It's one out, it's Archer. Too tall for Tony Woods. He's played primarily in defence over the last 6 weeks, but has now snuck down, and very good kick from Simpson.
Well, he was in defence only a few minutes ago. I'm not sure if he's got a midfield role at the present time, but he's a great utility player, Glenn Archer, and a top line player in the AFL.
So Archer gets his 17th goal for the season, and whether he's in defence or attack, he's a fine player for the Northerners.
Well, once again, North Melbourne through Corey McKernan, who took a wing on the defensive side of centre wing, getting the ball forward as Bell comes off the ground for Armstrong. Bell was being picked up by Richard Taylor, who to this point of the game has 6 possessions already, so perhaps Dennis Pagan just looking for a bit more tightness in the middle.
Skew with bounds by Howlett. Capuano hand passing to the moonwalker Armstrong. Inside 50, McKernan's held. It's going to go against Jenky. Although Holland stood him, Jenky was the man got into him. And McKernan from 55 metres unleashes a ball burster. What a beauty! They are the goals that just lift you beyond recognition. But in 2 fell swoops, North Melbourne have gone a double bang to go to 2-3-15. Hawthorn 1 straight goal 6.
Let's have a look at the free kick. You called it very well there, Rex. And it was interference there. And a very long kick from Corey McKernan, the superstar, along with Wayne Carey and Wayne Schwass of North Melbourne. And a few others as Stephen Lawrence just readies himself to come onto the ground.
So Capuano in ruck against Salmon, comes down, Laidley's hard in from defence for North Melbourne, stays in the contest. His mate John Blakey's there with him. Pressure from Taylor was good. Good tackling there from the Hawthorn midfield. But Corey McKernan certainly having influence on the game early. 4 kicks, a goal, and 1 great mark. On the hard centre bounce area, Capuano misjudged that. Salmon stays down, picks it up at ground level to Jenky, who's been in everything, to Kapler, who's the runner. Beautiful pass. Well, if I was Jason Dunstall, and every time Darren Kapler got it, I would take off too.
It's a beautiful kick, isn't he, Darren Kapler? And that fact has been recognised by Dennis Pagan. John Blakey, who's an outstanding player for North Melbourne, sometimes unheralded simply because of the superstars that he plays with. In fact, he was made a member of the 200-game club during the week, John Blakey, but this time his man Kapler got it to the great champion in Dunstall.
So Dunstall 5 straight last week, and he's got his first this week. Hawthorn still trail though. North Melbourne have it 2-3-15. Hawthorn 2 straight.
Well, just the sort of game that we expected tonight. Pretty tight, both clubs with lots to play for. North Melbourne, top spot is at stake. And for Hawthorn, a spot in the final 8. And they know full well that they just have to keep on racking up the wins if they are to make an appearance here in September.
His 1145th goal for the duration of his career. Knocked out by Lawrence, got a fingernail rock in there. Taylor got it across, and here they go inside. Condon got a good kick to Chick. Chick, 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 Chick! Oh, the Chickers has one! Beautiful play by Hawthorn to get their second within the minute.
Well, it was a great goal. It was a great get out of the middle by Hawthorn. And Daniel Chick just did it very well. Graham supplying the pressure. Good sidestep from Chick. Lately applying a little bit of defensive work, but a little bit late. Maybe should have gone for the diving smother, but great goal to Daniel Chick. Back in the side tonight.
The magic spray going on Dunstall's knee. I hope it's okay. Out of the ruck, Lawrence again, but Blakey interferes with North Melbourne. Back to half forward. Carey's got to beat three. Punched away from Crocker. McKernan knocked it on. Oh, kicked off the ground towards Archer. Coming through Carey, hit with a battering ram. Look at Platten. He's tough at the ball, this bloke. And the rat by name and nature, right up the gutter spout. And where the tough need going, he's going to be right there with them.
So John Platten, Jason Dunstall leading the fray here for Hawthorn. Hawthorn lead by 3 points. Half forward line for North Melbourne, repelled by Holland. Kapler takes off onto the left foot, spins it round to centre half forward. Chick's the spoiler for Hawthorn. Anthony Stevens, the rover for North Melbourne. Left foot tumbles towards half forward. Archer pushes it forward to the leading shoal. He has as much space in front as he wants. To Archer, he's already scored one. And he's missed this one. Missed the lot. Glenn Archer, 1 goal already. But under pressure from the Hawthorn defence, this kick sprays away to his left. Then Jenke takes his 5th kick for the evening. Lawrence with McKernan. Taylor onto Blakey. Lawrence feeds off to Kapler. Not a good one to Platten, but he gives it back to Kapler. Away he goes. This time on the right foot, wanting to toss it over the top of Stevens to Crawford. Stevens does well. King assists, and away go North Melbourne.
And does he what? Go to Carey. Right half forward, and he unleashes a long bomb behind the stick. He's not a dead-eye Dick tonight. He's gone behind the stick 3 times. And North to 2-4-16. Hawthorn 3 straight 18 in a crackerjack game at the MCG.
It's actually the only missing ingredient to it, bottler of a game, because the goal kicking of North Melbourne just a little bit astray, but Hawthorn are taking it right up to the flag favourites.
So Langford received it from Condon, goes towards the centre and picks out Harford. Harford now will take the ball after dropping it. He'll hand pass it on to Kapler. He's a long kick. Where's Dunstall? He's told him to go long. Oh, behind the stick again. If these were a puff deck the other way, it'd be raining goals and there's no clouds. But Hawthorn's turn to go behind the stick, 3-1-19. The Northern Shinboners 2-4-16.
So Kapler with 6 kicks already in this quarter. Very dominant. Armstrong at half-back for North Melbourne. To Schwass on the wing. Just stays in the line of play. Right foot tosses it over. McKernan's free. Receives it, wants to go. Did he? No, says the umpire.
Just a bit each way, I think.
This time he comes around. The right foot. Archer. Holland in front. Couldn't complete it. Yes, he has, says the umpire. The leading mark taker for Hawthorn this year. Holland out to Harford. He goes. No, he doesn't.
Holland's actually gone on to Archer. Stephen Lawrence appears to be going now with Corey McKernan.
So Daniel Harford plays over the handball to Jenke. Just wide of the centre of the ground. Kaplerson body work. Illegal body work, says the umpire. Free kick to Schwass.
Yeah, the ball wasn't within 5 metres. I think that was his decision, Jared. As North Melbourne out of the centre, Laidley. Got it on Armstrong, Blakey over the top, Rock, watch out, Collins, battering ram job, half forward, no one at home, Hawthorn King. The boy from the borough, Port Melbourne, goes left half forward. Whoa, McKernan's got to go against Lawrence. McKernan, quick hands, got it out looking for Rock, here comes Collins. Look at him, that tough and rough. And the ball comes out, Richard Taylor comes to the centre. And he pinpoints great accuracy to Kapler, who's got a player on his own. And marking it half forward is Crawford. He's gone long to the left half forward flank and for 11. Got cleaned up by the 4:59 Express Paul Martin. Dunstall talking to the umpire Vernon. And Vernon says, I got the whistle. You POQ.
Well, it's a nice bit of lateral vision there. In fact, it might have even been peripheral vision, and there comes the train that you were describing, Rex. He jumped it pretty early, Michael Martin. Pretty hard to throw the anchor out when you're in mid-air. But I'm not sure Jason Dunstall agrees with his tactic just at the present time.
Big effort by Treleaven, though. I mean, he knew he was coming. Had to stand there, take the ball. Tremendous stuff.
Well, Dunstall and Mick Martin certainly not discussing comparable haircuts, that's for sure. And two of the veterans having words to each other is Treleaven. He's been a marvellous little player, this man, from across the Nullarbor. From East Fremantle originally. Has found himself lining up for Hawthorn. So Harford has taken the Treleaven free kick. And he's going to line it up. So Treleaven still in the hands of the trainers. Back to him shortly. Harford. Oh, this looks all right. It is. I reckon he might have missed it. One flag only. And Hawthorn 3-2-20 to North 2-4-16.
Well, it would have hurt, though.
Oh,
the
yeah.
left knee right into the rump. Taken pretty skillful surgeon's knife to extricate it. And there's a great reply from Daniel Harford. Perhaps he'll get his second shot at goal in 2 seconds.
Harford brings it in short. He's got Graham. Aggressive. That's a mark. Might have been a little bit of the Fairley back in it.
Well, Terry, there's no doubt that Ken Judge has got Hawthorn primed right to a point here, because they're a physical attack on the football, led by Andy Collins down in defence and Johnny Platten there a couple of times ago, plus a couple of great efforts by Treleaven, and now Mark Graham has really set the standard here.
So Graham, more known as a backman, goes for his 3rd goal for the season. He's got it. So Mark Graham playing at half forward this weekend, really doing well. And there is Treleaven, Craig Treleaven, who copped the brunt of the Mickey Martin charge.
Yes, well, he's in lots of agony there, lots of pain. Barry Gavin, physiotherapist, been at Hawthorn a long time now, and he will know full well that that'll be pretty bruised there. Not much protection around the upper buttock area. We'll go down to Robert Di-Domenico shortly for a report.
Ball back in the centre, no one touched it, but McKernan did, but Ratton knocked it forward. It was knocked forward again by North Melbourne's Laidley. It came out Condon. Nick Holland races for the ball. Cruel bounce. Crocker went through. Can he get there? No. Nick Holland picked it up. His kick no good over the head. No. Rock trapped it beautifully. Hand pass to Blakey. Archer will have to go and does. Did he infringe? No. He gets rid of Platten and runs to 30 and goes bang! Oh, thank your mother for the Rabbits for his 2nd goal.
Well, we've sung his praises already tonight, Glenn Archer. And each year of the last 5, he just continues to get 15 or 20% better. Took him out with the body. Nick Holland got put out of business. And then, like a Peter Dacos snap around the left corner, he put through his 2nd goal. And he has become a very vital forward for North Melbourne.
So North Melbourne edging back at the Hawthorn lead now, which is just 4 points. Platten's kick off the ground, doesn't get past the North Melbourne defence. Back into the centre area. Richard Taylor all wrapped up by big Corey McKernan.
Down the boundary line, Robert
Yeah, Jared, young Treleaven is in trouble at the moment. He's got a bit of a back injury at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll report back at quarter time.
Any suspicion of a break there, Dipper?
No break there, but he stood his ground, didn't he?
He did.
So umpire Grant Vernon restarts play. McKernan in front of Lawrence, gets it down. Harford leads the race with the ball, lets the ball go when the traffic came, and Archer was able to step out onto the left foot. He tosses it forward. Carey's behind Langford this occasion. The spoil Harford very good at ground level. Tallis doing the running off shoal to half forward. Graham's to target. Chick gives the support onto Taylor, onto Crawford. Drags it around towards the top of the square. It's North Melbourne defence. Salmon at ground level. No match for the pace of Laidley, but the pressure's on. Salmon's asked to go again, this time against Simpson. Simpson to the wing. And McKernan to Blakey. towards Carey. He's got it. Spoil from Langford. Okay, says the umpire. Play's allowed to go on. From behind, Chick again, couldn't complete it. Kapler off the ground into space. It's a race for the ball. Crawford has the pace. Steps back in a little bit of trouble. Over the top. Rock with Condon. Schwartz. Pressure from Crawford. Too long in the tackle. Wayne Schwartz free kick.
Robert Dibby, a minute ago, you were in both rooms before the game. Did you expect that we'd see such a ferocious battle?
That's why I picked Hawthorn. I knew they would do very well. These two sides really enjoy playing against each other. And, you know, we have seen a great first quarter.
So Wayne Schwartz from half-back. Looking down the cluttered forward line for North Melbourne, decides to go in short to Peter Bell.
So Dinger Bell back outboard, got it to Swass. Swass will now go long, and he'll be targeting the big man down there. Carey punched away Langford, picked up Nick Holland. He's got space. He'll have to go now. A mongrel finger-breaking punt. Left half forward, but it comes to Rock. Rock of North Melbourne Allison, but the kick's no good. And Harper couldn't believe his luck. Hand passed it off to Lawrence. Left half forward looking for Graham. Over the top, King can't take it. Oh, Pritchard, quick hands, got it to Salmon. Got it to the running Woods. Woods comes in. Oh, Dunstall! Oh, they moved that ball beautifully.
Well, once again, it's just pure desperation from Hawthorn that has got them into this position where they currently lead by 4 points. Perhaps it'll go to 10 points. But it's been absolute desperation across the board, and that's not to say that North Melbourne aren't having a dead set crack, because if their kicking had been a little bit straighter, they would be in front.
Dunstall from it for his second, what you would call a gimme for a player of his standard, and he goes bang! Oh, great stuff, Hawthorn. So Hawthorn now move on to 5-2-32. They're 10 points up on North. 3-4-22. Dunstall gets his second, and Hawthorn on fire.
Dennis Pagan starting to throw a few changes around. Blakey coming off the ground for Darren Crocker. Paul Hudson back on the ground, Pritchard off. So a double change as Hawthorn kick another very good goal in this fantastic opening term.
So Hawthorn with 4 of the last 5 goals of this game really have the pressure on North Melbourne at this stage. They lead by 10 points. Graham to Langford, to the vacant half-forward area. Stevens overruns the ball, has support from Schwartz, steps through on the left foot. The little kick to Armstrong. A handball to Scott. Now it's set up for the forward line. Scholl in front position, couldn't complete the mark. Allison on the ground, gives it to Bell, the 4-goal kicker last week. Got one now. Peter Bell really found a niche in the North Melbourne forward line, doing the roving, but Brett Allison, great hands.
Well, what a great first quarter. We've had 9 goals now, and the ball just going from end to end. There's been a little bit of erratic goal shooting, but the boys are just starting to settle down now as Allison. They'll be pretty pleased to get a couple of touches. Gets the ball onto Bell, and he puts one away.
So young Dinger Bell doing well. From the ball back on the centre with umpire Darren Goldspink. Ah, beautiful execution of the bounce. McKernan got a fingernail knocked on by the Moonwalker in Armstrong, but Lawrence got it to Platten, got it to Woods. Inside 50. Looking for Kapler, can't take it. Here comes Stevens Anthony. Hand passed off to Swass, he let it go. King picked it up and went long to the wing looking for the Moonwalker in Armstrong. He controls the football and kicks it long, long, long inside 50. Carey had to beat 3. That means there's a couple of North Melbourne. Crocker got it across the Rock. Goes long to Scholl. Scholl couldn't grab it, but Allison. Bang, bang, bang. I thought it would come the other way, but it was a top spinner. We needed a googly, and it went the wrong side of the stick.
Yes, we certainly needed a different sort of ball for that one to be a goal, Rex. I'll tell you what, Hawthorn has thrown all sorts of balls at North Melbourne tonight. They're standing up pretty well to it, North, but I'm sure Ken Judge will be very pleased.
So Jenke and Collins in turn the ball to Harford. Forward handball to Lawrence, away he goes. probing right to the 50-metre mark. Daniel Chick couldn't complete it. Stuart Anderson wants the boundary line. He's got it right on the siren.
And what a great term it was, Terry. 5-2-32 to North Melbourne 4-5-29 as another player is in the hands of the trainers. It looks like Darren Crocker. And what a wretched run of injuries he's had throughout his whole career. So let's hope it's just a minor one. In fact, the coach of these two great sides in John Kennedy would say as long as it's a head injury, it'll be okay.
Not sure. It's a little bit lower than that. It looks in the rib region. Crocker has had all sorts of trouble with his legs. He's had that knee construction and had the other knee go, and he's got both the bandages there, but he's in a bit of trouble just above the belly button.
Yes, he's certainly in a lot of pain here. Perhaps a rib. We'll wait for a report from Robert Di Domenico, but before that, let's have a look at what happened. Just another courageous effort by him, backing into the pack. He caught Daniel Harford's knee just under the rib cage, and he is suffering for his courage as Ken Judge walks to the centre huddle with the runner, Chris Connolly. So a quarter time in what's been a great quarter here on Friday Night Football. Hawthorn with a slender lead, 5-2-32 to the flag favourites, 4-5-29.
A real good umpire, don't worry, the three of them here tonight, big guns. Out of the centre, it was Armstrong, inside 50, Carey was besieged, McKernan too, Archer over the top to Dinger Bell. What a start! Well, Bell's got his second, and that's the way you want it out of the centre. And North 4, 5-5-35, hit the front, Hawthorn 5-2-32.
Well, it's just a classic centre bounce takeaway. Quick kick down to the forward line. Once again, you see two Hawthorn fellows going for Carey. That leaves a loose man to pick up the crumb. He gets it quickly to Bell, and he gets his second.
Any coach must say, if there's 2 on 1, that means there's one of ours not doing much. Terry.
So Peter Bell 2 goals, Glenn Archer 2 goals, and here come North Melbourne again. That's Carey, barging through. You won't get past that bloke, Wayne. Tossed out. Archer doesn't really want it, and he's dropped it. Good call, umpire.
What an interesting one with Wayne Carey. He elected to go on, and a split second later he ran into a brick wall named Andy Collins.
50 for giving the umpire a mouthful.
Pretty good umpiring all round by the umpires so far tonight.
I think Rex pointed out very well, we have 3 very experienced umpires, David Howlett, Grant Vernon, Darren Goldsmith. You won't put anything over any of those 3 boys.
Paul Salmon spent a lot of the first quarter deep in the forward line, sitting in behind Jason Dunstan.
So Salmon just forward of the centre area into the forward line. Hudson tries to spoil on Capuano, but Capuano just too tall. Feeds off to the run of Laidley. Short inside to King. He under pressure as only far as Harford. Kick over the top of Kapler. Hudson under pressure. Away goes Anderson. North Melbourne are free at half forward through McKernan. The run from Anderson. Generally uses the ball well. Pushed up towards Carey. Can't complete it this time. Hawthorn numbers are there with Woods. Carey back into it again. Woods stays with him. Woods goes for the boundary line.
Well, a pretty costly turnover for Hawthorn, but on the boundary line, Dipper, you've got a report on Crocker.
Yes, good news for North Melbourne. Hasn't got a broken rib or anything like that. It's just a bruised back. And Glenn Archer's come off the ground and got abused by his coach for giving that 50-metre penalty.
Thanks for that, Dipper.
And a fair call there by Coach Pagan. Salmon takes the ball out of ruck and then goes it alone. His left foot kick out into space on the wing, but too wide for Jenke, too wide for Scholl, and over the line and out of bounds again. Coming back on now, Glenn Archer. Dennis Pagan taking the time to really point out to his player that that's totally unacceptable play.
So McKernan and Salmon, the fish from behind. McKernan grabbed it. That is a gigantic double giraffe kick. 70 metres, 30 up, 30 down, 5 across. And the umpire will really go in and just dissolve those players and put it in.
Dipper, has the wind changed at all? It looks like the flags have done a 180-degree turn.
Well, Gerard, sometimes it stops and next time it blows. It is quite swirly down here, but nothing different from the first quarter.
Yeah, stick to the thing filled with wind, you blokes. I'm the wind expert. And I'm not talking about the bay, as the umpire Goldspink will go in and put it in the air. Those flags, just leave the flags alone. Let's concentrate on the game. although we need plenty of things to talk about. A little bit of a quiet time here. Umpire Goldspink. It was a good bounce too. Salmon, the moonwalker in Armstrong for North Melbourne. Down towards Archer. Back on the ground. Coming in, Little Rock. Scott there as well, knocks it on. But Langford picked it up. He's doing well. Straight into the solar plexus of the fish. He gave it off to Kepler. A mongrel finger breaker. Fairly attacks the ball. Ran through Chick, had to get rid of it. Held was Anderson. Play on, said the umpire. It's tough and rugged. Graham got it across to Kepler. The hand pass came out to Hudson. He gave it back. Coming around Chick. He's got a player on his own, and it's Condon. And Condon's gone bang. Great play. Condon's second. And Hawthorn go to 6-2-38. North of 5-5-35. In an absolute pearl, a physiotherapist.
Yes, no room for the faint-hearted across the half-forward line for Hawthorn at the present time. North Melbourne defenders running in straight lines at the football. But Hawthorn just seeming to get more numbers down there across that half-forward line. Condon's a midfielder who's pushed down to assist. And his eyes lit up when he saw the open goal.
Condon 2 goals for Hawthorn. Paul Salmon 2 goals for Hawthorn. That side leads by 3 points. McKernan tosses it over the back. The quick kicks. 2 quick kicks get the ball clear. Schwass under pressure, couldn't get it out. It's tossed out there now. Good hands out to Kepler on his favoured left side. Pushes up towards Chick. He spoils it to the ground level. Pressure on Laidley from Harvard. Oh, that's Hudson.
Well, Paul Hudson certainly applied a lot of pressure as Rock comes off the ground to be replaced by Adam Simpson. It did look like a free kick for Laidley. He's getting up holding his head. Let's have a look now. Bang goes the knee into the scone. And, well, pretty lucky, I think, Paul Hudson.
So umpire Grant Vernon just waiting for Dean Laidley to be up out of the danger area. Now he bounces it. Numerous players around the ball up. They're all in among it. The umpire picks it free. He gives it to Armstrong. Left footer probing it long towards the wing. Carey's in the front position. Langford spoils. Turned around by Woods. Graham does the spoiling from the forward line. Over the line, out of bounds. So Dean Laidley off as a result of this knock here. Hudson coming in hard.
Nothing malicious in it. I'm sure he was just trying to soccer the ball out, but you're on the boundary line, Dipper. How is he?
He's not looking too well. Looks like he's in his sleep lane at the moment. A bit of double vision there from the doctors.
So Taylor does the roving for Hawthorn. Up forward line, Jenke off his hands, over the line, out of bounds.
So a bit of a casualty ward starting to develop on the boundary line. Both teams' doctors working overtime.
Left forward pocket, Hawthorn to the punt road end. The ball spinning back into play. Lawrence went up, Capuano over the top, but the hand pass came out. Knocked on by King. And it's over the boundary line, conceding a throw-in left forward pocket. Hawthorn have been very good. They've got Condon and Dunstall kicked 2 goals apiece, and Archer and Bell have kicked 2, and Lawrence has come into the side this week. The premiership player will go up against young Matthew Capuano. Capuano grabs him. Watch out, Bell. A high giraffe kick out towards 50. Oh, nearly a good mark to Scott, but it's picked up by Harford, who's been busy. Here towards Goldman, Bell. Oh, he stood where Angel's beard tread, and Chick came in. But Bell will go over the top and find Simpson. Simpson off the right half, back for North Melbourne to the wing. Looking for Fairley, punched away from him. It came out to Taylor. Taylor Richard to half forward, has got a lead from Lawrence on his hammer. Coming out to Crawford. Hand pass, they can raffle it. Condon back to the Rat. Platten. A high, long, wafting ball to Graham. Punched away, and Hudson on the crumbs. Oh, son of a gun, Hudson has put through Hawthorn 7th.
So you've got to give Graham a bit of a wrap up there, Gerard. Great work from behind.
Yes, excellent work there from Mark Graham. Smart hands there also. Condon having a very big game, already kicked 2 goals. In comes the Rat. And Hawthorn now have kicked 2 consecutive goals in this quarter. Paul Hudson been very impressed with his last month. Really has paid the price this year. Went down into the seconds for a number of weeks. And Ken Judge has just brought him back beautifully. And he's producing some of his best football for a long time.
So Hawthorn by 9, and here they come again. Salmon, quick kick out of the centre. Daniel Chick, pressured there by Stuart Anderson, number 5 for North Melbourne. Mark Graham's in there for the Hawks. And the umpire wants to bounce the ball.
Well, we said it was a hospital ward. What about Craig Treleaven down there, Dipper?
The news for the young fella, he won't be back on the ground. He's off with a bruised back.
Salmon inspiring his side, gives it to Kapler. His left foot up into the forward line. Hudson's in front. The spoil down to Dunstall. What can he do on the left? Not too much. Not too much at all there.
Well, I think he was trying to centre the ball, put it at the top of the square. But it just went off the side of the boot.
A little bit of a limp there as he moved away from Jason Dunstall. So the kick out, Salmon. Just superior judgment there to McKernan. Dunstall's free in the pocket. He's got him, but he's hobbling.
Mark Stevens on the ground for North Melbourne, replacing Brett Allison. Small for a tall.
Would you think it'd be unreasonable for Pagan to go out and ask why a man has kicked 15,600 goals, hasn't got anyone within a mile of him?
I wouldn't like to see Dennis Pagan out on the ground just at the moment, Rex, but probably your point is valid.
So Dunstall going for his 3rd. And for Hawthorn's 8th. The skip's done it. Well done. 3 goals to Jason Dunstall. And his side now stepping out to some 15 points in front.
Well, let's just have a look at why he's on his own. Mick Martin, of course, wasn't standing the mark. Capuano's man is Paul Salmon. And Jason Dunstall, realising that he's just skipped Mick Martin, threw the hands up in despair, saying, "Kick it to me, fish," which he did. And the Hawks just keep getting better.
Daylight robbery if there was any daylight. Back into attack, Hawthorn. North Melbourne under siege. King punched it away, grabbed by Taylor. Over the top of the ball. Scholl, he's in a bit of trouble. Stacks on the mill, and the crowd supporting Hawthorn. Very appreciative in their efforts to keep the ball just forward of the centre.
Good figures to the big fish. 4 marks, 4 kicks, and 6 handballs.
He certainly turned it around. He always wanted to play in the ruck. Sheedy, who can't fish, always wanted to play him at full forward. And the fish said, "Leave the fishing to me." McKernan got that one away from Fish that time. Stacks on the mill. And North Melbourne are under a bit of pressure.
Richard Taylor back into the side tonight. 5 kicks, 6 handballs. Jenke doing well in defence with 6 and 1. And Harford, 6 and 6, having a big night.
Umpire Graham Vernon, the Western Australian. Knocked out by Salmon again. Swass knocked it on. But Taylor knocked it inside 50. Kapler, can he get the run of the ball? Oh, here comes Chick. Did he get over the top? No. Rock kicked it off. And it hit the please consider sign over the boundary line and out of play.
Darren Kapler also now with 12 possessions, 10 kicks and 2 handballs. He set up this Hawthorn side in the first quarter. A little bit quieter in this term at the moment, as we see Dean Laley doing a little bit of a warm-up lap.
So Hawthorn by 15. Stevens from the half-back flank for North Melbourne, drives towards the wing. Bell does good body work on Collins, allows Archer the ball. He in turn back to Mark Stevens, tossing into the vacant forward line. The bounce doesn't favour Harford. Langford back to his mate Collins. How many times has that occurred? Collins swings around towards the half-back line. Holland can't complete the mark. Pressure there from Archer and Stevens. Assistance for the numbers by Hawthorn, but Schwass into Armstrong on his left. Pushes in, Carey can't complete it. Langford's wherever he goes. Back to Scott, bounces in the square. It's home. Robert Scott from Peter Bell on the end of it all, and Scott picks up his first.
Well, it's a great challenge now for North Melbourne. They're sitting on top of the ladder. They're most people have them as one of the favourites for the flag, if not the outright favourite. They do need Swass and Armstrong to come back into this game a little bit. we haven't seen much of Anthony Stevens, but at the same time, both he and Crawford are playing very closely together, and they've both got 5 possessions today.
So Darren Golsping put it down. It went 80 metres in the air, nearly. Kicked off the ground. Hawthorn come forward again. Graham intercepted by Rock of North Melbourne. Look for Archer. He got one high, the bow and arrow. Advantage played. Rock off the half back line to half forward. North Melbourne trying to get it going, but it goes onto the wing to Holland of Hawthorn. Right half forward over the top of Graham's head. And Fairley, the fisherman from Williamstown, gets a worm burner onto the wing. No one at home. Condon picks it up. He can measure the kick, and he does. The long one in towards Lawrence and Dunstall. Punched away. Hudson, dispossessed, picked up Matthew Capuano. And Rock took a good mark and put them into attack by kicking it to Scott, who got cleaned up. In the centre of the ground, it comes out towards Scholl. Picked up Blakey. He needs some assistance from Scholl and got it. Put it on the boot quickly. Down towards half forward. Carey goes bang! A champion just missed. It was a good effort, but they'll need to pull out everything to take Hawthorn on. And didn't Scott run into a battering ram?
Name of Ray Jenke, who left the ground, took him pretty high. Very fair, though, it was. And once again, just another great physical clash here in what is becoming a very good half of football.
So Wayne Carey, 11 goals, 2 last week. This week he's goalless with 3 behinds, 1 out of bounds on the full. Hawthorn through Holland, out to Harford. Switching the play very well, Hawthorn. Controlling the ball down this wing to Taylor. He has Graham free. Gives it to him. Left footer, runs on. Lets it go. It fades away.
Well, you've coached Footscray, Terry. You were the AFL Coach of the Year a couple of years ago. Would you have instructed Graham to kick that one to the top of the square to a vacant Dunstall?
It was on, wasn't it? They'd be able to do that, but I think Graham really is getting some confidence up, and perhaps he should have nailed that one. So the kick-off out wide. Kapler, some fancy footwork to get out of trouble. Inside to Harford. He's coming in short. He's got it. Great work from Taylor under the pressure from Stevens. Hawthorn short again. The kick is a poor one. This could be costly. Condon can't control. Now he's back into it. Too much pressure from North Melbourne. They're sterling in defence. Rock feeds back to Laidley. Across the body. Graham couldn't control it. Armstrong can. Gives it to Scott. Goes towards half forward. The 2 champions at it again. The umpire allows that to go on. The spoil back into the North Melbourne forward line. Tallis has to do the work in front of Stevens. Langford wrapped up. Wait for it. Ball up.
And a good decision from David Howlett. Langford with no opportunity to get rid of that ball.
And he tried to steal it, Langford. That's like me winning the haircut of the year. The ball put down. Grabbed Blakey. He's in trouble. It came out of the moonwalker in Armstrong. It's tough. It's rugged, it's great Australian football at its best. And Hawthorn have come back from a belting last week against Richmond to take it right up to North Melbourne and more. Holland up. Came down to Harford, who's been an absolute tower of strength for Hawthorn. Left half back for Hawthorn. Swass knocked it on looking for Scholl. He can't control it, does now. Kicks it inside 50 with a giraffe kick. Punched away from Crawford. Kicked on by Mark Stevens, but no one at home for North. And picked up by Holland, and he goes bang.
He's got the running Taylor. Has space on the outer wing. 1 bounce in towards centre half forward. Hudson on the lead. Does well. Gets up very, very quickly. Turns back. He's got Platten. He's got the ball. He's got the mark.
Well, what a great game of football here. Bruce McAvaney's been complaining about his Friday night football, Terry, but I can't see anything wrong with this game. It's an absolute beauty. And we're seeing Paul Hudson show some great skills, and Johnny Platten deciding that he'd jump in with a one-hander. And this game is just swinging from North Melbourne's end to Hawthorn's end at 100 miles an hour.
John Platten, very deliberate. Hasn't been his forte this year. 8 goals, 11 behinds to John Platten for the season. Want a better return than that. So North Melbourne this time, the King to Martin. Crowd giving the hoots to Mick. 11 still sits on the interchange bench. Laidley breaks away across the goal face, wanting to switch the play.
Beautiful kick.
He's got Armstrong. He steps Platten, tosses on forward towards Scott. He's confronted by Harford. The bounce favours Scholes, steps through, still pressure from Hawthorn. Jenke this time, double pressure. Great work from Jenke, but the skills belong with Stevens. Breaks away with 2 bounces. No one coming at him. Tosses it towards the square. Carey. Stevens' run just broke the forward line apart, and Carey just able to step forward.
Well, it was great play by Anthony Stevens. In fact, it was great play by North Melbourne. Beautiful kick from Laidley to set this one up. It was just a low trajectory drop punt in towards their champion captain. And North Melbourne are doing well to hold on here because they are under siege from Hawthorn. Yet trailed by just 10 points, maybe 4 after this kick.
3 straight behinds to Wayne Carey. Going for his first goal. And he's got it. North Melbourne now have 7, and the difference is 4 points.
Yes, they really have been under enormous pressure. Craig Scholes, smart play there, gets it to Blakey. He gets bustled out of it. And Hawthorn's tackling has been enormous, which really means that you must pay great credit to North Melbourne for the way they're just standing tall. There's more incentive, one suspects, for Hawthorn right at the moment, in that they're out of the finals. North Melbourne, of course, the incentive for them to keep onto that top spot. So I think with it so close now, just as we come towards half-time, we are in for a crackerjack second half.
Young Matty Capuano learning the game. Salmon's already learned it. Capuano got it to the moonwalker in Armstrong, picked up Harford, who's been terrific. Half forward, looking there for Graham, punched away by Archer, but Graham follows up nicely. He's got vision to Dunstall, but Mick Martin outfoxed him. He took the risk and took the mark, and hand passed off to Laidley. And Laidley out to King, left half back. And King now will measure the kick. A 30-metre one is no good. Armstrong, luck's a fortune. Hand passed across. Scott got it across to Fairley. Fairley onto the centre wing. Who's at home? McKernan. He went before acceptances. Stacks on the mill. And umpire Grant Vernon will put the football down. So in the shadows of the half-time post, North Melbourne 4 points below Hawthorn, who have been magnificent. On umpire Grant Vernon. Throw the blanket over 25 players. Wrestling Salmon. Knocked it out. Kicked off the ground by the Forest in Woods. He gets it down, but here comes Laidley. Measures the kick, but it's no good. It's a free kick to North Melbourne. Swash, who got a push. It was relayed down to Anthony Stevens after the Swash push. And Swash now, Stevens I should say, gets it to the moonwalker in Armstrong.
Experienced midfielder with the left foot. A shocking kick, didn't travel where he wanted to go, and allows the Hawthorn defence to repel, but they only give it back to him so he can have another go. This one's only marginally better and falls into the hands of Salmon.
Well, the pressure's pretty immense out there, and a lot of players making disposal errors.
Salmon now wanting to give it off. Does so to Collins. He's coming towards Langford. Carey's there with him. Langford has the front position, wanting to hold Carey out. Loses out to Simpson. Pushes it in. Bell steps around. Concedes ground back to Carey. Very good play. A long way out, Carey. Towards the top of the square, looking for McKernan. Salmon does the spoiling work. Kapler's on the end of it. His long kick bounces freely across the wing. It's North Melbourne leading in the race. It's Stevens shepherding from Laidley. Hudson can't get through. Stevens cuts back inboard to King. Towards centre half forward. McKernan's the target. Over the back was Crocker. Salmon does the roving. Great work for the big man. Gives it to Langford. Pushing on out wide. Graham, who's covering a lot of ground at half forward, takes off again. Kick into Lawrence is good. Pressure from Fairley wasn't enough. Lawrence awarded the mark.
Glenn Archer now at centre-half back on Graham.
Lawrence into the side tonight. 1 of 4 changes. Gives it to Kapler. His kick is high. Archer fumbles it. Is good enough to take it at ground level. Stevens. Laidley. Pressure from Crawford. You can't get past Shane Crawford. A little bit going on there. You can just have a good look at this pair.
6 possessions to Anthony Stevens, 5 for Shane Crawford. 2 great players.
Half forward looking for McKernan. North Melbourne into attack, and they get another one. The Desert Simpson. Long kick. 2 out. Carey. Did he give it the slip? He did. Bang. Great play from a champion. Just when you need something out of the box, he comes and goes. Double bang in this quarter. The North Melbourne are in front. 54 to 52.
Yes, it was just good body work from Carey. He saw that Langford was watching him and not watching the ball, so he just got him out of position. Always pleasing to see when you do that the ball bounces right for you. But he got the ball quickly onto his boot. And now the pressure back on Hawthorn, with North Melbourne taking the lead.
So back in the centre. Under 2 minutes to go. Can they go again? Hawthorn need one. Knocked on by Stevens. Here come Hawthorn. Platten around the corner kick right half forward. Graham under great pressure. Excellent mark. Where's Dunstall? He's hesitant. Graham goes long. It's down towards the goal. Salmon is there, so too Tuke. Tuke, a high ball. 2-on-1. Hudson can't go. And a good mark to Fairley, the Williamstown fisherman.
So North Melbourne on the comeback in this second quarter. Hawthorn got out to a 15-point lead. North Melbourne have reined it in to be leading by 2 points as we approach half-time. And the pressure is intense from both sides. Stephen Lawrence into the side this week. Been asked to run with Capuano and McKernan at various times. Just over 1 minute. Boundary throw-in. Hawthorn side of the centre. Condon back to Kapler. Kapler long, his 13th kick, probing into the forward line. Martin's in front, Dunstall's behind.
Well, I'm not sure if that one went up into the lights, but both players appeared to misjudge it. Certainly Mick Martin went underneath it, and then it came off Dunstall's hands onto the nose and then slowly just fell into his hands. He'd be pretty pleased to come up with the ball. So after struggling, it would appear, with a little bit of a knee injury, he's shooting for his 4th.
North Melbourne captain Carey has kicked the last 2 goals to put his side in front. Can the Hawks skipper match it? He can. The Hawks are back in front.
And once again, it was Darren Kapler getting the quick kick out of the congested area. Stephen Lawrence doing quite well in the ruck. Salmon at the back, and here we see just a couple of players just getting underneath of it all, and a pretty good shot from goal from the captain, who thanked his lucky stars that the ball was there when he opened his eyes.
We all need them, and we all took them, and we took them for granted too. Capuano didn't get it, but Crawford did. Kicked it inside 50. Hudson, good pressure lately. Hand pass Stevens under pressure from Harper, who's been great. Taylor, I should say. Stevens came through Dunstall again, picked up by Blakey. Siren. What a great half of football. Don't kill the gladiators, said Jack Dyer. And tonight this crowd has seen a crackerjack game. With Hawthorn leading by 4 points at half-time. The Hawks 9-4-58 to North Melbourne 8-6-54.
And one suspects the outcome of this game, and perhaps even Hawthorn's season, rests with the left knee there of Jason Dunstall, heavily bandaged. He went off last week against Richmond with 5 goals at half-time. Today he's got 4, but he does appear to be moving relatively freely. At the other end of the ground, Carey's done well in verse, but this certainly doesn't look good, as Craig Treleaven is assisted off the ground by the club physiotherapist Barry Gavin. Ken Judge will be pleased with that last goal. Always good to go into a half-time break with a lead, particularly when you're up against the flag favourites. Confidence will be chock full and very high in the Hawthorn rooms. but take nothing away from North Melbourne. Dennis Pagan will get them to regroup, and they'll come out firing in what will be a fantastic second half. Hawthorn lead at halftime, 9-4, 58 to North Melbourne, 8-6, 54. Away, Burbler.
Yes, I think Melbourne worried about the score last week. At this stage, they're 28 goals down as the umpire starts it again, and Salmon again. Taylor kicked it inside 50. Is this a dream start? Crawford couldn't trap it. Swash. He's under all sorts of trouble. Graham over the top, looking for Hudson, who's gone bang. What a start to Hawthorn. What an absolute dream start for the second half. Hudson gets his second, and that was unbelievable. 26 seconds it took to do the damage.
Well, once again, Richard Taylor out of the middle. Good match up here with Crawford on Swash. Graham having an excellent game across the half-forward line. And Hudson threw the ball onto the boot. Probably had just a shade more time, but nevertheless, it was a great snap at goal. And Ken Judge would be very pleased with the way this man has responded to the challenge. He obviously set him midway through the year.
Well, Salmon is a credit to himself and his team. He's giving them something to work at. And the beautiful execution of the bounce again favours him, and he got it out through Condon's hands. Anderson of North Melbourne tried to trap it. They're under siege, North Melbourne, as Anderson brings it across his body. Punched away from McKernan. Plants at the umpire. Anthony Stevens kicked it off the ground right half forward. Here comes Carey. He's being held. The umpire says play on. It came out to Bell, but good rough tactics by Langford. Got the ball out to Holland. He's off. He's gone. This is a great game. Carey got it across the rock, who put it down the throat of McKernan. This is great stuff, Physio.
Yes, it's a great game. It's surprising that Andy Collins was allowed to get away with that tackle on Wayne Carey. I don't think he actually controlled the ball before he tackled it. But now it's up to Corey McKernan, who could probably go up another notch or two.
He's already kicked one. From here, he's a real chance, but it's gone left. Capuano tries to mark from behind, and he's been paid. I would be disappointed if I was Nick Holland. Nick's not going off much, but Capuano will have to come round here with us. Come round to the white line, says the umpire. But, oh, gee, the umpire said he had enough of that. And I thought that Nick Holland might have been just a little tad unlucky, although Nick didn't argue. Matthew Capuano. He's a big boy, and he's done it. What a beautiful conversion. And North get that one back. And they're now back towards 4 points. North 9-6-60 to Hawthorn 10-4-64.
And I see Matthew Capuano as one of the keys to the premiership for North Melbourne. If they can get him up and running, and he's taken some time, clearly a mark there, and well called by the umpire. If they can get him up and running at his absolute best, that allows them the freedom to play McKernan wherever they like.
So one goal apiece at the start of the third quarter. That bounce, not a good one. Woods takes the loose ball, kicks towards half forward. Spoiled by Chick was effective. Crawford at ground level, couldn't control it. The loose ball spins out wide. Stevens with pace. Takes the front position, controls the ball. Along the ground, looking there for Archer, but can't quite make it. So a goal apiece. Hawthorn get the first. Through Hudson. Neil Baum, who side last week was well and truly thrashed by North Melbourne. You have to be impressed with Hawthorn's performance to date. McKernan in the front position. Quick kick goes forward. Blakey, good body work. Exceptional body work on Graham. And Schwartz steps in just to stir a little bit of possum. Off he goes through centre half back. Just over the centre area. Carey, the flyer, couldn't control it. Archer's in amongst it. The ball spills towards Bell. Pressure from Collins. Anderson wrapped up in a great tackle by Woods. Woods up and back into it again. Feeds back towards half forward. Pushing, shoving. Hudson taken out of it. King now cleans up for North Melbourne towards the wing.
And here's a race for Anthony Stevens. He can't make it as it hits the NZ sign and the ball goes over the boundary line. They're going to have to pull out everything to get ahead here tonight, Jared.
Yes, North Melbourne just struggling a little bit. They're obviously have been fired up by Dennis Pagan. They have to do it out on the ground. They've got the match winners, of course, McKernan being one of them.
Stephen Lawrence in front. It went over his head. The moonwalker Armstrong. It was a high ball, went 30 metres along Archer. This is him. He's good when this situation comes. He's put it out in front. Carey will use his body, can't get it. Coming through. Stevens hand passes it across. Carey! He's done it. He's a champion. Oh, Carey's third was an absolute curler. And North Melbourne have clawed themselves in front. 10-6-66 to Hawthorn, 10-4-64. And Archer is the common denominator every time they go forward.
Yes, he's a very good player. There's no question about that. As is Carey. That's an understatement. Smart hands there from Stevens. And it was a bit of a blaze at the goals, but you've got to get one eventually.
McKernan, the big thump out. Woods runs onto it. He's got some freedom across the wing. Great kick into the forward line. Falls just fractionally short of Hudson. And Laidley right up to the task, pushes it over the line. So Tipper down on the boundary line. Craig Treleaven, mate.
Yeah, he's been taken to the hospital, Terry. Looks like he might have a bit of a slight crack in his spine area.
So Treleaven attempting to take the mark, and actually did take the mark in the first quarter. Solidly met by Mickey Martin. With the game now really well and truly fired up. Pressure on the North Melbourne defence, but Laidley with a quick left foot kick out. Tallis is the spoiler for Hawthorn. Woodsy just drops the ball, and the umpire lets it all go. Great tap from McKernan to King. Forward handball, couldn't find a teammate. Taylor coming through. Martin's in front, not needed, fairly. Swings around towards the outer side. Scott and Platten have been at it all night. Blakey wins possession, kicks it on and rocks away on the wing.
And he kicks it long to the lead of McKernan. Beautiful space. McKernan breaks and takes a bounce and runs to 52. Look at him far up with the big man second. And North Melbourne have gone just that little bit further ahead to 11-6-72. Hawthorn 10-4-64. That lifts any side, man.
Yes, it does. And if Hawthorn thought that North Melbourne weren't going to come out and lay out the challenge, they were certainly under a false expectation, because they've got so many great players, North Melbourne. You don't get to top of the ladder without champions in your side. And champions lift when they're asked to, as Hudson comes off the ground for Pritchard.
A bad bounce favours the moonwalker for Armstrong to kick it long inside 50. Carey's going to beat two. Harford did it well, took advantage of the Shepherd on Langford. Harford on the left foot to half forward, looking for Graham. Punched away Blakey. Back to Blakey, hands and knees, hand pass King. King got it out to Scholl. Scholl on the wing position down to Carey. Good play Langford, but can he get in the veteran? No, the young champion brings it across his body with great vision. Scholl dropped it. Oh, luck's a fortune for Hawthorn to be able to keep it in there. But umpire Darren Goldspeak will bounce it.
Wayne Carey starting to really influence the game now. 9 kicks, 4 marks, 3 goals, 3. Centre half forward making his mark on the game. Umpire Goldspeak bounces. Kernan up with the left hand, only as far as Crawford. Peter Kapler. Hawthorn must make something of this push forward. It's wide out in front of Chick, but favour not his way. The bounce goes to Schwass. Back around on the right foot, concedes some ground though back to Laidley, so that North can set up a game from half back.
And Chris Connolly, the Hawthorn runner, has gone out to Stephen Lawrence, telling him, get on the ball.
The kick to the true centre position. McKernan couldn't complete it. Rock gives it to Simpson. The left foot kick just wobbles into the forward line. Allison with pace. Gets well out. Back to Archer. The Collins tackle will be good, and it is. Handball to Armstrong. In turn over to Allison. Running in. Allison going for his first. This is again second behind to Brett Allison.
Well, they're very lucky there, Hawthorn, because they did fall for the classic 2 card trick. 4 players attacked 1. The handball went over the top of the man in possession to find Allison, who should have kicked a goal.
Collins to the wing, finds Kapler, who'll kick it long. He's got time to take his second bounce. Now he goes bang and rips the side off the footy. Dunster wasn't ready. Martin, great defence, backed his judgment and got a kind bounce. He bounces it himself. Hand passed out to Anthony Stevens on his right foot, which is his wrong one. Capuano can't control the football. Knocked on by Nick Holland, went to Harford. This is Condon, I should say, comes in, and this is Daniel Chick. They desperately needed Daniel Chick wearing one glove. He either found one or he lost one, as the young boy's already kicked one and he might fire from outside 50.
He's been instructed by his captain in Dunstall to go for the big one.
He's got the Joe Buckner bandage across the top of his snout as he skips and hops and unleashes a long bomb to the edge of the square for a goal. No one touched it. A goal, number 2 to Chick. Beautiful shepherding by Salmon saw Chick's second goal, and Hawthorn back within 3 points.
Yes, you got it in one, Rex. It was you can put this one down to Paul Salmon as much as you can to Chick, because just have a look at that. Not many men will be able to keep Carey, is it Carey, and Mick Martin away from it.
So Chicky's second goal.
May well have been fairly. Sorry, Terry.
Second go at it from McKernan as a long one. Archer feeds to Simpson, neatly out on the left, pushes out to Allison. Always seems to find space on the left foot. Curls it back around to the top of the square. Capuana can't complete it. Taylor's there with Bell. Into the woodwork and one behind.
Great game from Richard Taylor.
Taylor with the 11 kicks, the 6 handballs.
And some tough kicks too, Terry. Getting those quick ones out of the middle, under the packs, doing very well.
Jenke dangerously towards Kapler. Follows it up. Hawthorn under real pressure here from the North Melbourne forwards. They're not going to get this one out. Jenke quite adventurous with the short kick to Kapler.
There's great pressure though from the North Melbourne forwards, as you said. Saw the opening, they swooped on it, and their desperation may create a goal for them.
So Capuano to do the ruck work with Holland. Capuano in front, down to Carey with strength. Barges around, but not far enough.
He's an unbelievable terrier, Andy Collins. He hasn't missed a game for about 14 years, and he's still tackling with the intensity and the ferocity of a first-game player.
In actual fact, it was way back 1988 when he missed his last game, Andy Collins.
Well, he's second in line behind Jim Steins for the most consecutive games.
And a great Sandringham centreman in 1985, Rex.
Oh, they bred him tough down there. Condon went for the wing, no one at home. And the ball went over Dipper. You've let that one go, son. That's not like you.
Yeah, that's right, Rex. I tried to get it, but I couldn't grab it.
Yes, thank you very much, Dipper, down on the boundary line. But he's going for Brinkebauer. Don't look at me, mate. I don't smoke anything. I don't need it. So the ball back in. McKernan, Lawrence. No one got at the Moonwalker. He came out. Stevens intercepted Lawrence again. Look at the guts and determination. Stevens, Anthony. Through the hands of Tallis. It's on the emblem. Picked up Bell. A quick hand pass back to the Moonwalker. Armstrong inside 50. Carey nearly trapped it. Langford off the ground for the solace of the boundary line, and it's out on the full.
He just did it too well.
Luck was a misfortune there, and the resultant free kick will go to Rock of Gibraltar.
Around he goes, pushing in towards his skipper. He's in second in line behind McKernan. Langford this time off the ground, keeps it in play. Bell feeds back only as far as Condon. Good play to Taylor. He's the runner for the Hawks at the moment. Kicks in towards Graham. He's dumped. He gets a free kick. Hawthorn fans happy with that decision. The left footer goes in short. Daniel Chick takes it. 2 goals to Daniel Chick, 1 in this quarter to Kapler. He's got Crawford pitted to Armstrong out here. Crawford with the pace. Steps around now perfectly to the top of the square. Flies one at Salmon. Gives it off. Pritchard.
Played the mark to Salmon. No advantage can be paid after a mark, so the ball will come back despite having gone through the goals. And isn't Paul Salmon having a wonderful year? After a bit of a slow start, I think that's a fair comment. His last 4 to 6 weeks have been sensational.
So 512 times this man's put the ball through the centre of the goals. 509 of those in Essendon colours. Going for only his 4th in the Hawthorn Guernsey, but probably one of the more important ones he's kicked. In he comes. Salmon's got it. The Hawks have 12 goals.
Well, what a turnaround this has been for Hawthorn. When you consider they went, I think it was 6 weeks without a win between round 2 and 8 or thereabouts, and now to be in front of the league leaders and pushing for a spot in the final 8, it really has been a credit to all down at Hawthorn. And throw in the pressures of the apparent merger, and this has just been a wonderful season.
Umpire Darren Goldsping's got it again. The cloud wisping through those lights. No rain as yet. Lawrence got the knockout. The hand pass came from Condon to Harford, left half forward. Crawford gave Armstrong the flick. Crawford swings around and goes long. McMartin and Dunstall. Dunstall couldn't get it. Kapler's there. And Fairley has taken it over the boundary line for a little bit of solace. So they got their hands full, North Melbourne. They trail at the minute by 1 solitary point, with just over 9.5 minutes to go. The ball on left half forward for Hawthorn, knocked away by Fairley. Salmon came through. His hand pass was muffled. Condon got a hand pass out to Woods. Woods had a fling, but it went the other side of the stick for a minor score. And Hawthorn now up by 2 points. They're 12-5-77. Sunset Strip, and North Melbourne 11-9-75.
Anderson coming on the ground for Bell. They just walk straight into a kick.
And Anderson has done that beautifully, and you never even saw my lips move.
And 50-metre penalty rings.
Yeah, Richard Taylor just too aggressive on the mark there. And what a game we had. 8 times the lead has changed. If the last to change, Hawthorn take it. Can the Northerners come back? Anthony Rock outside 50. He has McKernan, he has Carey. Doesn't reach Carey.
Crawford having his best quarter.
Marks at half forward and then marks at half back to Jenke. Chick, can he control it? Pressure's there. Stevens right with him. This is one-on-one footy. If ever you've seen, Scott cops a little clip across the chin there from Johnny Platt.
Well, I'd reckon, Terry, when Dennis Pagan said, righto, fellas, pair off, we're going to do half an hour of one-on-one, everybody would run away as far as they can from Anthony Stevens, because that was just a classic turnover from him in a one-on-one position.
Capuano and Lawrence. Woods. Scott takes the fumbled handball, gives it to Armstrong, gives it to Schwartz. He's got freedom. He's going for Allison over the back. Will he jump? Yeah, he got it. Brett Allison. The right man in the right spot, and Schwartz does the right thing, tosses it up for him.
About here, I think he was just thinking about perhaps the new car, but not quite.
Allison returning to the side tonight after 10 weeks away with a knee injury, still searching for his first. He's got his first. North Melbourne back in the lead.
Well, Brett Allison did win Mark of the Year a couple of years ago with an absolute beauty of a fly. Just didn't quite get the perch on this occasion. But you can put this goal down to Anthony Stevens, because it was his turnover that brought the ball up. Then Scott won it from the bounce down. Swass delivered it long. And Andy Collins just getting bustled out by Allison in a great mark and goal.
So Collins and Allison discussing after-match entertainment. Yeah. Knocked on by Swass, North Melbourne, just forward of the centre. Here comes Stevens. He couldn't get it. The hand pass over the top from Taylor ended up with Carey. Carey goes backwards to keep the possession, but Swass wasn't equal to it. He put Laidley under pressure, who'll have to go. Kicks it into the centre. Capuano overruns the ball, turnover time. Crawford's via the Cape hand pass, went through Jenky's hands. But Jenky, cool and calm, got it to Holland. A high giraffe kick got Crawford. Crawford on left centre wing, stopped and then propped and then went long. Beautiful vision to Mark Graham. Outside 50 on left half forward. Dunstall, Salmon behind Scholl, punched it away. Coming around, Salmon like a rover. He's got it forward. Here's a go for Taylor. He's going to hand pass it off. Kapler under all sorts of pressure. Swass kicks it. A worm burner goes out towards Harford. He sells a dummy beautifully, and they've done it beautifully to Pritchard, who can line it up from what would be a very gettable distance.
Well, the pressure is just enormous, and it's telling on all players, both sides. Lots of kicks going astray, but this is what makes a great game of football. Who can best recover from errors, Terry?
Just a mistake there from Swass charging at half. It all needed to do was really just contain him on the boundary line.
This quality player, originally from Sandy Bay in the Apple Isle, 3 premierships to his name, from 40, puts it to the left of the stick. Oh, that was a one that they desperately needed. As King will come off for North Melbourne and the Rock of Gibraltar will come back on. It's North Melbourne by 3 points. Just over 5.5 minutes of the third term to go.
So North Melbourne from defence. Capuano, great judgment. Feeds it onto the run of Anderson. He in turn to Rock, just onto the ground. Pushes out wide. Mark Stevens, the boy from Gippsland, on the left foot. Found Carey. Front position to Wayne Carey. The tossed up kick from Wayne Stevens.
That's been the story of the night. It's a matter of which side is going to take the most of their opportunities. We saw Darren Pritchard miss a goal that was easily gettable, and all of a sudden the ball swings down for North Melbourne. They could, with a goal here, push it out to a 9-point lead.
So Carey with 3 goals, 4 to his name tonight. 64 goals for the season. This is what he's paid to do. Has he done it? He thinks he has. The goal umpire will verify it. Carey has 4. North Melbourne extend their lead now.
Well, it's a costly miss from Darren Pritchard, and no one would know that more than him. But the game well and truly alive here, with still with 4.5 minutes to go in this third term, and I think it'll be a nail-biting last quarter.
Ball back in the centre, nearly 3/4 time. McKernan went early on Lawrence and must be penalised, and umpire Vernon said, Rexy, you're spot on, fisherman. Lawrence goes long. Harford made beautiful area and gave him a beautiful target. And Daniel Harford has been good. The lead comes from Dunstall. Mick Martin puts pressure on him. And Fairley Ian comes out for North Melbourne and goes to the wing, and Scholl, the boy from Horsham, good one. Got it on Blakey. Blakey onto Swass. Here come North. He's under pressure, Swass. Gives it off to Laidley. Laidley runs to 50. A worm burner goes in the area of Lawrence. And Hawthorn's Lawrence can ease the squeeze out to the half-back line where Nick Holland takes the mark. Kicks it onto the left wing. Harford, that man again. Makes space and bangs it to half forward. Beautiful mark by King.
Got the other end of the ground. It was a great chase by both Pritchard and Kapler. Jason Dunstall just follows Mickey Martin deep into the defensive area for North.
King's wobbler finds Swass, steps around on the left foot. Pushing it forward to Carey. There he is again. Show the crowd, Wayne. They're the rewards for playing in front.
On a quality opponent too, you've got to say that is just fantastic. But gee, Hawthorn looks sore, sick and sorry there, Terry.
Yes, just a bit of reorganising there from Chick. And And this fellow is just, well, he may well prove to be the difference between both these two sides. Just that little bit of class, or a lot of class. He's had 12 kicks and 2 handballs. He's kicked 4 goals, which soon may become 5.
So Wayne Carey already has surpassed his tally for last season, which was 65. He's done it all, the man. Carey was the man last week with 11. Now he's buttering it up with 5. And he's leading the North Melbourne juggernaut.
This was just sensational. You'll see here that Carey made an effort to make the lead, but then get in front of a quality opponent, and that's championship material.
Yes, he presented himself well. The kick was beautiful from Swass. And I'm sure Ken Judge would be ruining this last 5 minutes, because it's been the only time where Hawthorn have allowed North Melbourne to play their own game.
Beautiful execution of the bounce. Knocked on by Lawrence. Hawthorn desperate now. They want to keep in touch. Pritchard's had a quiet night. Kicked it inside, looking for Graham. But, oh, Blakey. What a beautiful anticipated catch that was by Blakey to stop Hawthorn in their tracks. He's going to bring it out to the left half-back flank. Rock of Gibraltar is there for North Melbourne. Bounces and runs outside 50. Brings it onto the centre wing. Looking for and nearly finding young Scott. He knocked it on beautifully to Carey. Carey's wild non-C hand pass goes to Laidley. Good tackle by Holland. Beautiful play by North. Keeps it in. Archer got it to Scott. Over the top. Knocked on by Mark Stevens. Coming out McKernan. But Jenky can ease the squeeze. A long hand pass finds his team player in Cindy Crawford for Hawthorn, and he goes bang.
Crawford towards the wing position. Over the top of Chickshead. Kapler's there for Hawthorn. Free kicks as the crowd notices the umpire's shoal. Very good. Keeps the ball in play. The high kick towards the wing. Half at the jump. No good. Away go North Melbourne through King on the left foot. Pushing it out. This time it's Archer. One hand's got it. The talls in the North Melbourne forward line just keep stepping up.
At least also their supply's been a lot better in this last 5 minutes. Terry coming out of the middle.
Archer 2 goals, 2 first quarter goals. Going for his 3rd. It's right there. Oh.
Well, if it's not Carey, it's Archer. And if it's not Archer, up bobs McKernan with one hand after being out-positioned by Holland. And as you said, the tools in the North Melbourne forward line, you can throw Scholl into the mix, are going to be very difficult to stop, not just by Hawthorn, but by everybody.
McKernan's got 3. And North Melbourne now have kicked the last 5 goals and getting away from the Hawks.
And Angelo Lekis comes on for his first run for Hawthorn, first game of his AFL career.
I think you'd put a bit of pressure on the kid and say, pick up McKernan, young man. He said, I'll turn it up and say, make that Carey. That'd stop him from doing that thing in a lift, wouldn't it? I tell you what. But still, you throw the kids in the deep end and they always come up trumps. That's the way to build character, and certainly North Melbourne have got it at the moment. Hawthorn under siege. Here comes Carey. Gets it to Rock. Rock 49 metres, goes long to the square. Allison is there and the football dribbles behind the stick.
Different setup for North Melbourne's forward line on that takeaway from the middle. They had all their peripheral players, the flankers, right on the perimeter of the 50-metre attacking line, right on the boundary line, leaving a big hole between the bounce down and full forward.
Harford gets a lead from Holland. Picked up by the young boy Lackey and gets it in forward towards Taylor. Taylor towards Holland. To left half forward, they're falling down half forward, Hawthorn. Blakey's hand pass into the open space. Here comes Pritchard. Picked up by Salmon, gets it across to Woods. Tony Woods kicks it inside 50. Dunsel is behind McMartin. Graham wants a free, but the siren sounds. With North Melbourne's power in the second half of that quarter, taking them to a 15-10-100 to 12-6-78 lead. Olsby executes the football down beautifully. McKernan. Tallis pulled off the football but got a little toe poke in. McKernan, look at him, 6'11", and he goes long down to Allison. Oh, said that he pushed Collins in the back, and Allison said, "Oh, gee up, give me a break," or words to that effect. Oh, I tell you what, oh, well, I think it was a little bit soft.
Very.
But still, Jenky got the kick out from Collins and went to the wing and found the young boy in Leckis, Angelo Leckis, down towards left half forward looking for Chick, but Anderson stops them in their tracks and gives it off to King. And the boy who's done so beautifully since coming from the borough at Port Melbourne kicks it on to boy Scott, little boy Scott, the boy from the Torquay Surf Life-Saving Club with a Donnybrush haircut. Goes down to the right half-forward flank looking for Archer, can't get it. Overrunning the ball is a moonwalker, coming through Tony Woods. And the umpire said, "Give it to me. I'm going to throw the ball in the air and put it down as well."
Chick coming off for Hudson. Pretty early change in the final quarter.
So umpire Darren Goldspink in the front position, McKernan. Lawrence tries over the back. Crawford finds Kapler, the kick forward. Graham running hard onto the ball, but Blakey just forces it across the boundary line from some 25 metres out. They don't come much tighter or meaner than John Blakey. Former Fitzroy player in his 4th year with North Melbourne. Now finds himself as a ruckman against Graham. Comes to the front. Taylor has worked hard. Stevens works harder on this occasion into the front position. Feeds it on out towards Archer, trying to step through, confronted by Pritchard. Eventually it's out to Laidley on the left foot, in towards Carey and Langford. Carey bodies Langford out of the contest, but it now favours Kapler. Pressured by Carey. This is one-on-one. Kapler steps away beautifully on the left foot. Out wide, he's got a teammate there in Harford. He needs to set something. He'll come inboard to Langford. The skipper takes off. 80 yards out from goal towards the square. Dunstall can't complete it this time. Up, handballs, Crawford, goals, yes! The Hawks get the very important first goal of the last quarter. And
Well,
Dunstall's involved in it, but really not moving all that freely.
Very proppy Dunstall, but he just put his life on the line here. Gave Mick ever so a nudge that was very slight, and then hand passes over the top. He knew that the boy from Camberwell Grammar was there, and bang, went through a goal to Shane Crawford. And as Terry said, a vital one at that. It's back to 16 points. 100 North Melbourne, 84 a Hawthorn. Here come Hawthorn again with Crawford. He's kicked it down inside 50 towards the right half-forward flank, and Scott and Platten kept it in nicely. The umpire said, "Play on, you two." And applaudance all round from the crowd, who have seen an absolute pearler here this evening.
Haven't those two been at it all night, Scott and Platten?
Just fantastic. Doesn't need a haircut, Platten. He needs a bushfire. And umpire Vernon puts it down right half-forward flank, knocked out fairly. The solace of the boundary line is what he wanted. The crowd wanted deliberate. The umpire said, "In your boot." And the ball will be sent back on its circumvolution by Little Boy Blue.
16 points the lead to North Melbourne. Hawthorn had the lead by 15 midway through the second quarter. They stand challenged now, and the Hawks have got everything going for them. Leckis, the handball just forward, hoping. Graham tries to keep it going with the North Melbourne defence, this time through Scholl, just wrap it up.
Yeah, Mark Graham just attempted to stand up in the handball. He just should have kept his body weight down, got the handball away, and then could have stood up and delivered a shepherd. Pritchard looks to be coming off the ground. Chick will be his replacement. Looks like a blood nose, the blood rule playing its part tonight.
So umpire David Howlett will now wait for Daniel Chick to come out and take up the position that Darren Pritchard held. Hawthorn with the first goal of the quarter and the only goal of the quarter through Shane Crawford. But brought the lead back by North Melbourne to 16 points from 22 at three-quarter time. Platten can't clear the area, and again it's a ball up.
We shouldn't underestimate the loss of Craig Treleaven either for Hawthorn. He has been one of their very best players this season, and certainly would be a big loss. Darren Crocker also injured early in the game. Haven't seen much of him since that occurrence.
So the ball from the ruck, kick right free. Archer in the front position. Tallis wants to go with hands, but Archer keeps playing soccer on a little bit further until he can pick it up. Pushes it forward. Very good play from McKernan, but no one there just yet. Now comes Carey onto the scene. Has as much time as he wants to step this way, that way, and hit Allison.
Well, when you're too tall to cross half forward or as agile as your smalls, you've got a very difficult forward line to match up on. And there we saw McKernan tapping the ball like a big man, and then Carey, another big man, picking it up like he was a will-o'-the-wisp rover and delivering it on the chest of Allison. Just brilliant stuff.
So Brett Allison, one goal in the third. And that's about it. But now it's Archer's turn to pick up another one.
They're going to be hard to beat, Rex.
And poor Kenny Judge. I know how you feel, mate. You always want your defenders to be in front. This occasion, Archer. Perhaps too much experience for young Raiden Tallis. Archer has 2. Now 3. Peter Schwab, Ken Judge can't quite believe it as it now goes out to a 22-point lead to North Melbourne.
Well, everywhere you look, just about, the Hawthorn defenders are a couple of inches shorter than the North Melbourne players.
He didn't do a lot wrong, tell us.
Absolutely nothing wrong, except he lined up on Glenn Archer.
He looked like Terry Wheeler then in the box. No wonder he gave it away and came with the comfort zone. Well, them's the breaks, Rexy. So umpire Vernon, beautiful execution of the bounce of the air conveyance, knocked out by McKernan. Here comes Taylor of Hawthorn trying to give them a lift, but King, he's been solid across that half-back line all evening. He's got a lead out from Anthony Stevens, one of the prime movers. Can't control the footy. Will it sit for him? He's got all the time. Mick Martin does some shepherding. Stevens goes long to the wing. Lawrence is there, but good play. Stevens coming through. Kicks it to the forward line. Simpson, I should say, came inboard towards Archer. This time Tallis is there and he'll concede the football behind. As Simpson banged it in towards Archer, Tallis said, gee, I better go through here. And Raiden Tallis, what are you pointing at, mate?
Well, just John Platten coming off the ground. 4 kicks, 2 handballs. Hasn't been his best night, John Platten. Robert Scott just getting another scalp as he's done so often for North Melbourne.
So Jenke now to bring the ball back into play. Has Salmon. 7 marks to Paul Salmon. 18 disposals, but McKernan another one. At ground level, steps around, takes a bounce on the left, hits a teammate. Oh. Stevens takes off, pushes out wide. Carey in the pocket, just will need to control it at ground level with Langford. Concedes ground, back to Rock, cross the body. 1 behind. Carey really starting to come into his own.
14 kicks, 5 handballs, 5 goals. Was it 6?
5-4.
Got him down for 5.
And out of bounds on the full, which he opened with. So 10 shots at goal. Not a bad day's work for a centre-half forward.
You're supposed to tap when you change commentators, not punch. It must be in your upbringing. Played 200 games of football like that. Crawford, 3 bounces, ran to the centre wing, goes right half forward looking for Hudson. The football was intercepted and punched over by Swass. It was too. Great play by Swass. He smiles like a fish that missed the hook, and the football went out of play. So Capuano will go up against Salmon. Fingernail to Capuano. It's tough and it's rugged. And one just gets the feeling, physio, that Hawthorn may have baked their rooster because they just haven't got enough to go on with it.
Yes, each time that Hawthorn's gone in to attack, they've replied. The official attendance today, 28,555. Not a bad crowd considering that a blizzard swept through Melbourne Thursday and it stayed until Friday night.
And if you're not wearing a coat tonight, you don't own one. North 108, play Hawthorn 84. Salmon has been fantastic in the ruck. Thank you for the cuppa. The ball down to the right half forward flank for Hawthorn. Scott now makes it left half back for North Melbourne. Coming through Crawford. Look at Cindy go. He's got a lead out. Is it too far? No, Nick Holland. And desperation calls for desperate methods. And Holland now switched to half forward. The lead comes from Dunstall. Coming out, he can't take it. Picked up by Stevens. Beautiful tackle on him. And the ball's conceded behind the stick by McKernan.
Great work from Dunstall there to be able to get back up into the frame, put the pressure on with the tackle.
Still time for Hawthorn, 16 and a half minutes of play remaining. But they just don't look like winners at the present time, even at their three-quarter time huddle. The heads were down a little bit.
Stevens takes a short kick in, feeds out to Laidley. His kick under pressure, only as far as Crawford. The long handball back inside to Hudson. Left foot, finds Daniel Chick. Hawthorn looking to set something up inside 50 now. Chick decides to go long to the top of the square. Graham has to go. It's all North Melbourne. The numbers are their way. Rock to Schwass, to Martin, to Blakey, and away go the Roos. To the wing position. Archer battling there with Jenke. Carey decides to come in and upset the tea party. Gathers the ball. Right foot to centre half forward to McKernan. The spoil favours Crawford coming through with strength. Back to Lawrence. His handball not good. McKernan comes through. Takes Tallis out as if you don't mind. Lawrence ties it up with McKernan. Simpson's there. Tallis is there. And so is the umpire. $23 points the lead to North Melbourne. Armstrong does the ruck work. A kick off the ground only to McKernan. He in turn on. Jenke combines with Tallis to relieve the pressure, but his kick is not a good one. Woods, big round arm out towards the wing, finds Harford. He now has space. Settles to kick long. Holland's the target. Lately the spoiler from behind. Holland stays upright in the contest for a second go at it. Spills free. Advantage given. King's away and running.
He's got a lead out there from Capuano. He takes the mark and hand passes off to Blakey. Blakey goes by the centre. Carey. He's lifted his side, this man Mountain. He's kicked 5, the King. He comes in and kicks it long to half forward. Archer. Allison, look at him go, bang. Oh, he hit the post. That was the one to put him away. And it was a poster. A Wilbur post it goes. And North Melbourne 16-13, 109 to Hawthorn 13-7, 85. We've got heat, we've got coffee, we've got sandwiches. Who wants to go back to 3AW? Wheels.
And it's a pleasure to have you here, Rex. Jenke to Collins to Crawford. The Hawks desperately trying to get a goal through this build-up. Using the ball well. Harford. Back to Taylor, who's been in everything tonight. Leckers inside to Kappa, who started so well, but it's faded out. He lets a long one go. Will it bounce? Top of the square. Martin doesn't risk anything. Whips it over the head. Through for a force behind. I'll keep the commentary going, fellas. You finish the sandwiches.
Yes, Hawthorn desperately needing one there.
Laidley long to the outer side. Scholl plays on immediately. Handball over the top to King. Away he goes. Played in every game this year to centre forward. McKernan tries a big jump. Can't get over the height of Lawrence. He feeds to Taylor. Comes right into the centre of the ground. There's a nest of Hawks there. Crawford's the one to gather it. Comes further on. Chick.
It's certainly not over, Terry. If they can just manage a goal or two, the confidence will lift and they'll be back in it. But then again, if North Melbourne kick the next one, we might as well pack up now.
Just under 10 minutes of play left. Hawthorn 86, trail North Melbourne 109. Chick's long kick is not a good kick. Wobbling away to the left. Daniel Chick picks up another behind. 2 goals to Daniel Chick, 2 goals, 1.
Okay, Terry, have a spell on that egg sandwich. They don't agree with me. The ball outside 50. It comes to the wing, Nilly. Kapler goes through without the air conveyance. Holland gets it back, half it onto Tallis. Tallis kicks it long. Dunstall can't get there, but Chick again. Did he hand it? Oh, he might have been lucky, but the umpires paid it in the back. He certainly didn't control the football.
The last time Chick went for his shot at goal, as we just have a look at this one, it was a tough decision. But last time he shot at goal, his run-up had a right-angle bend in it with about 3 steps to go. So let's see if he is straighter this time.
So he's kicked 2, the Chickadee, and he has kicked 3 goals. That is the one that the physiotherapist was talking about. They need one straight out of the centre. They may have cooked their goose or their hawk. What are you pointing at?
8 minutes of play remaining, 8:08.
We don't have that luxury downstairs.
Well, the luxury now is with Hawthorn because they've got that vital goal that they needed. They trail by 16 points, certainly not out of their reach.
No, it isn't, and McKernan beaten by Salmon, but Rock of Gibraltar for North Melbourne inside 50. Allison fell over, but Collins is there. Allison to Carey! Bang! Thank you, mother, for the Rabbits. Yibbity yibbida. That's all, folks. And it's ringside with the Wrestlers. Oh, if they were felines, you'd call the council, but I don't think there's much in it. Umpire Darren Goldsmith says, oh, get back, get back. And Carey gets number 6. And he is a star, Gerard.
He is a superstar, Rex, and we said at half-time that North Melbourne had come out firing. We said that Dennis Pagan had asked their superstars to lift, and that's why they're superstars, because they do respond to the challenge, and Wayne Carey has done just that.
They've just got so many opportunities up forward and a strong defence. They look very good, Scott. Formerly of Geelong, now North kicks it in again. Can North go again? Tallis to Carey! Oh, no! Behind the stick. He's spoiling a good game. Take him off. Oh, he's a superstar. 116 to 93.
Well, it's amazing how the umpires don't recall some of these bounces. That one went at an angle of 30 degrees, clearly favoured North Melbourne.
So Taylor from the kick-off towards the wing. Chick couldn't complete the mark on this occasion. Stevens inside. Anthony Stevens, that is, to Capuano. Been a good replacement for Mark Roberts over the last 2 weeks. Out to Rock. One of the most consistent players for North Melbourne this year.
They've just got a wealth of riches, haven't they, with Danilchenko and Roberts. You've got Longmire out of the side. Stevens is in and out.
17 kicks is quite a night's work for Anthony Rock. This one up to the top of the square. McKernan can't complete. Push out. Salmon's free.
Clayton back on the ground.
Jenky's free. Been tough work in defence for Ray Jenky tonight. One of the most experienced players. Holland, a bad turnover. Worst of all, Carey was in close proximity. He to Allison. Allison in turn to Rock. Rock gives it to Salmon. It's got to be a behind. It's not a mark in the fair play of arena.
Let's just have a look at this bounce. Now, if that's a fair bounce, I'll go he, and surely that is the time when the umpires just call it back and have another crack at it.
So Condon from half back towards the wing, looking for Platten, who has been worn again there by, and they both go and have a little chat with the coaches.
So the rotund lady just about to exercise her lungs. And for those north of the Yarra, the fat lady just about to sing here at the MCG. So Capuano from behind Salmon went down to Platten. Platten got it across. from the young boy in Leckis, and they go forward towards Graham, but North too strong and too good. Anthony Stevens to half forward Carey. He'll give him the break. He'll run onto the football. Can he line it up? He can for 7 magnificent goals. He is a champion. He's blown this game into the bay, and North Melbourne are home. The Shinboners are 18-15, 123. And Hawthorn have done their dice on 14-9-93.
Yeah, what a great game it's been, and a great game because Hawthorn really played their absolute best. But the best wasn't good enough to stop North Melbourne, and I think we're looking at the premiers. North Melbourne's form up until this point has been impeccable, and now their forwards in Carey and McKern are just playing fantastic football.
So Carey with 7 goals, 23 goals in the last 3 weeks, to the best NR forward in the competition, if not for all time. Blowing the game apart has Wayne Carey. Jenke has battled hard all night. To Condon, back to Jenke. Salmon, predominant early, but has faded since. His kick doesn't reach where he wanted it to go, and Ian Fairley dropping back there. To Schwass, goes one way, decides to come back again, gives it to Blakey. The North Melbourne defence just continues to combine well. Fairley and Martin holding the key positions, but many players able to link around the ground. And here comes that man now, Mick Martin. Decides to go for a run. Kicked a goal in round 6. Can he do it again? It has to clear this pack. It won't. Falls short. Crawford punches. Not clear of Carey, though. Carey's handball intercepted by Tallis to Crawford along the ground, rolling towards the line. Kapler pushes it over.
Great running by Mick Martin. He has done a pretty good job on Dunstall, and he's not frightened to just keep on running and take the ball up on centre wing.
And the cheer squad giving Mick Martin a rousing reception as he returns to the goal square. But down the other end of the ground, it's McKernan who drops it down. Taylor hard up against the line. Very good night for Richard Taylor. Some 27 disposals. One of 4 changes into the side. But to no avail. Hawthorn coach Ken Judge hasn't been able to pull this one. Collins in the front position. Free kick against him. Hasn't been Andy's night.
Well, Hawthorn go out to Waverley next Saturday night. They play Footscray. Then they've got Sydney at Waverley, St Kilda and Waverley in round 21, followed by Melbourne at the MCG. They're just about going to have to win 4 of those now to guarantee a place in the final 8.
That's why you've got to win them early in those first rounds. Jenke gets it out to Condon. Runs to centre wing on right flank for Hawthorn. Langford up there, but a good mark to King. He's been fantastic across the half-back line, King. Low trajectory 50-metre kick was meant for Archer, couldn't trap it. Scott knocked it on, kicked off the ground by Salmon. Taylor again got a little worm burner out. It came out to Lawrence, but Rock. Hand pass to Dingerbell. He's under pressure. Kapler on his right foot, which is his wrong one. Goes to half-forward, Swass. Can't trap it. Picked up by Tony Woods. A mongrel finger-breaking goal. That was one of the original bone-crushing finger breakers. Those really shocking mongrel punts, but it went through. And Tony Woods, Raquel Stevens' former flatmate, puts through his first for the night.
I'm sure Raquel will be pleased to be mentioned on...
Used to be on Omric's Hunt, and you're not.
Sports AFL.
Now she's on Channel 10 and I'm not.
As
We're not
Tony
allowed to say
Woods.
that, are we?
Well, you're allowed to say whatever you like.
Exactly, because I get the flick after the night.
Back to you, Wheels.
Woods back into it. You've got me, you blokes. Salmon gets it down to Crawford. Simpson turns it back North Melbourne's way with a high kick to centre forward. Carey crashes the pack. The rover is Bell. Now it's Scholl. Either one, fellas. One of you has taken. Scholl does to Allison. He puts Collins out of the contest. Kicks it off the ground. Thank you. Allison, 2 goals. And a great return game for Brett Allison, right at the right time of the year. a serious knee injury early in the year, but he's right in amongst it now.
For this is good play, considering he's a left footer. That is great skills by Allison, who has battled his way back in, gives them another avenue to goal. And for the second consecutive week, Dunstall has been held goalless in the last half, and Hawthorn have caved in on both occasions. The strain on his knee must really get him. Scholl knocked it on. It came through Jenky, went to Salmon. Salmon hand passes wide. Taylor gets it on to Condon. Condon now runs through the centre. Now runs further to half forward and kicks it inside 50. They're under great pressure now. Langford in forward. Gets it to Platten. He gets it back to Harford, who's been great. A good smother by Scott. It came out to Platten. They're tough, they're rugged, they're desperate, North Melbourne. They want it so badly you can almost see it popping out and dogging you on the cranium through the screen. They're magnificent, Gerard. They're fantastic. There's going to be a war tomorrow. You want to take North Melbourne with you.
Well, they've got a pretty tough run home. Brisbane at Optus Oval next week. Adelaide at Football Park. Geelong at the MCG, then Richmond, all vying for final spots. But right at this stage, I would say that they are clear premiership favourites.
So here they come again, this time through Simpson. Carey in the front position. Graham's his opponent now. Just lopes a handball out to Stevens. His left footer is high up for Allison. Tallis in the front position. Couldn't complete it. Bell on Collins, one behind.
Now, it's no wonder John Longmire is putting the thumb screws on his surgeon to give him the OK to get back and play this season, because he'd be sniffing a victory. He'd be sniffing a premiership.
Johnny Longmire? No, not good enough.
31 points is the margin.
But
You've got to earn your stripes. Oh, we might fit him in.
Condon inside to Lekas. Playing his first game for the evening. Schwass, most experienced player, now right back into top form. Armstrong, a good night from him. Scott had the better of Platten. All the good players are seemingly now with North Melbourne. Anderson over the top. Why not give it to Carey? Let's see what he does now. From 50, not good enough.
Archer, a good game tonight, and I think it's probably been Armstrong's best game for North Melbourne for a good couple of months.
So in the shadows of the post, in racing parlance, Salmon. He's been gallant. Gives it to Langford, who was just overcome by Carey's strength and pace and class. Condon fell over Anderson. Good interception by Pritchard, but the umpire said it's a free kick to Anderson. Or it might come back towards Fairley. And Ian Fairley, the snapper fisherman from Point Gellibrand, goes out towards the half-forward line. From behind McKernan is Lawrence, who punches. It comes down to Lekas. Lekas's mongrel finger-breaking punt goes over the boundary line and out of play. And she's mounted the rostrum, the young lady, just about to sing. Because it's all over, she said, waving her wooden leg for Hawthorn. And North Melbourne have been far too good. So the ball now. She's all over, and yibbity-yibbita, that's all, folks. And North Melbourne have been magnificent. They have kicked 19-16, 130 to Hawthorn, 15-9, 99. As Dipper runs over to King Carey. You got to get him, Dipper, because he's in his contract, remind him. Or I won't have him back on Sunday morning. No, he said, no, we only want the stars. And here is Dipper.
Thanks very much, Rex.
He's got the bow and arrow man.
I'm with the bow and arrow man. Glenn Archer, terrific win by the boys tonight, but what a tough game.
We always knew it was going to be tough. Hawthorn, they really want to make the 8, and it was a crucial game for us. And it was a crucial game for us as we want to finish 1-2. We had to win it.
And when did you know you're going to play in the forward line? Because the last couple of weeks you've been playing back down there.
Yeah, I started in the back line tonight, and then they had someone drop him back, so I went and picked him up and stayed there for the rest of the night.
Now, we talk about King Carey the last couple of weeks. He's played a terrific role at centre-half forward. He's a superb player to be playing with.
He's fantastic, and it's just a great opportunity.
Just in the huddles, like the quarter-time huddles and three-quarter time, what sort of things does Wayne say?
Well, he just encourages all the boys, and stuff like that, and G's is all up, and he's always positive, never negative.
Now, can you smell the finals? Can you smell the finals now?
Not just yet, Dibber. Just 1 week at a time.
Well done, son. Well done.
Well done.